and I took a trip to Russia. I got something in this box, actually. This is the box right here. I had to take it apart because it's kind of a pain to take out. This is my very first Shirogorov knife. The URSUS Quantum R1P, and we're going to take a look at this guy. There he is. Now this knife is put out by Shirogorov and Recon 1. And this is an all titanium folder. This is a special limited edition version. This is the box that the stuff that comes in the box, as you guys can see. It's the Quantum R1 edition, Chromax PM steel, blue titanium, multi-row ball bearing system, and there's a serial number right there. That's actually an authenticity card, and you get a cloth with it. So let's talk about this bad boy. So this is a knife that came. This knife actually came with. It's exclusive with Recon 1, which basically means that they chose the actual features that go on the knife. They basically took the best of the best features. And put them into this knife, and then Recon 1 pretty much, I guess you could say they sponsored it. This is a full-size frame lock knife with Chromax PM steel. Now, Chromax PM steel is actually exclusively used by Shirogorov knives. It's sort of a step below M390. And let's just take a look at this before I continue to talk about it. Actually, while I, have you guys take a good quick look at it, I'm just going to talk. So you guys can see this is a frame lock knife. It's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Really beautiful. If you look closely, there's like a bunch of R1s in there. It almost looks like crosses, like a three type of cross type thing on there. And there was a guy on Bladezilla. He actually said if you put it farther away, it looks like stonewash bacteria, which I thought was weird. You got a really huge pivot here, and you got a standoff. That's it. It's total open construction. The blade steel shape is sort of a drop point, maybe Persian type, because it's got that upswept tip type blade on it. I want to apologize, by the way. The weather's really lousy here in Washington. There's your lanyard hole right there. If you wanted to put a lanyard in it, you could do that. I'm not into lanyards, but you can. There's the Shirogorov logo. I thought it was a wolf, but actually it's a bear. I didn't know that. This is like my first Shirogorov knife I've ever gotten. I'm deploying it with my thumb because we're still trying to break it in. Apparently Shirogorov knives are knives that you actually have to break in, like thousands. In other words, you have to do like thousands of flips before it gets really easy to deploy. That's the only thing about Shirogorov that I didn't realize. However, the action on this knife, let's just take a quick look at it. See that? That's unbelievable. If you notice the action on the knife, it doesn't fall shut. It stops right there and then drops. Centering We don't care. It's always perfect on Shirogorov knives. Absolutely incredible. I like the color of the knife. It's sort of like light blue, kind of medium blue color, almost grayish. But actually, you know, in the light, it is blue. So this is not a full-on Shirogorov knife. Like I said, this is a total open construction. What they did with this knife was they gave you the best of the best features that Shirogorov has to offer, and then they took some away. So, for example, you don't have like a full back spacer. You just got the standoff right here. And but they did give you the multi-row ball bearing system. So the multi-row ball bearing system, basically inside this knife, there is a round cage with ball bearings in it. And if I could explain it, picture like a circle, and there's like ball bearings in the knife, randomly inside the knife. You know, in other words, it's like 3 times the amount of ball bearings in the cage system that they would normally have in a single row ball bearing system. And that's one of the things about this knife that gives you that action. I mean, that is just insane. Absolutely insane. So the multi-roll ball bearing system is actually the star of the show here. Second to the star of the show is all the, oh my God, all of the incredible machining that went into this. You may not even notice. Now, on a regular Shirogorov, the machined milling is off the charts, but on this knife, they did it to a minimum, but you can still see it. Just kind of walk you around a little bit. I don't know if you can see it in my camera here, but yeah, if I hold it at this angle, you can see these milling lines in here. That's intricately done by machine. Like I said, it's a lousy day today, so I don't know if you guys can even see that, but you can see these mill lines in there, like underneath the relief cut. Unbelievable. All the sculpting here with the swedges, that's all done by machine. Intricate machining on this one, even though it's minimal. Here's another swedge right here. That's all done by machine. It's really difficult to get that, to do that, you know. And I think you have to actually kind of be really involved in custom knives if you're going to appreciate a knife like this, because the price point for this knife is, yes, in the moment, this is an all titanium knife. Please, yeah, keep the questions coming. That keeps the video going, because I can't think of everything about this knife that I want to talk about. But yes, it is titanium, all titanium. The price point for this knife, man, I really don't want. And this is this knife is actually at a good price point, because you're getting an all titanium knife. The price point for this knife is $725 for this one, and that is an awesome knife for what you're getting. That's an awesome price for what you're getting. Like I said, I'm deploying it with my thumb because it takes like 1,000 break-ins before you can even do it with your finger. And believe me, I've done it with my finger, and my finger is now kind of sore doing it. I can even try. There you go. Actually, there I did it right there. Yeah, but the more you flip it, the easier it's going to get. One of the things that I like about the knife is this huge, gigantic pivot right here. That is huge. Now, the pivot is big. It's kind of controversial. Some people say it's to fit the multi-row ball bearing system in there. A lot of people say, well, that's just for aesthetics. I actually think it is to support the multi-row ball bearing system that's inside the knife, because obviously, if you're going to have a large caged system in there, you're going to need a pivot to support that system. I believe there is a special tool to pop this bad boy open in case you wanted to clean it. I don't recommend it because Shirogorov knives are just perfect right out of the box. Yeah, so there's no need to, but could you use a regular screwdriver for that? Yeah, you could, but I wouldn't recommend it. This knife is $725. Who the hell wants to do that to such a beautiful knife? Centering is always dead. Look at that. Now, on to the negative, and this is the only negative thing about the knife that I don't like. Look at that. It's like the knife is in jail with these 3 towers. But like I said at the beginning of the video, that's why this knife was came to fruition, was to see what Shirogorov could offer people who wanted to own a Shirogorov knife and not have to pay like over $1,000 for one of their knives. This is one of the cost-effective things that they did. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not even sure if these 3 bars are titanium or if they're just like stainless steel. But they look like 3 towers, you know what I mean, that they kind of put in, you know, on the end of the tip. And it is kind of necessary because, for safety reasons, I believe, because you know, at a certain point, it just barely touches the tip of the titanium. So I think for safety, they kind of put that there to prevent any kind of injury. I'm guessing because it just, you know, but it surprises me that they did this. Why not just put like one slab of stainless steel across it? Would have really have been that much more money to do that? But I don't know. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not a cost expert on that. So that's the only negative thing I don't like that I can say about this knife. Other than that, the action is absolutely incredible. Yeah, you don't get a full backspacer, but then again, I like the complete open total construction. I like the idea that a knife only has just a pivot and a standoff here. And I'm not counting the stupid 3 bars over there. Yeah, so I like that open construction. Now, the pocket clip is really well detailed. I don't think I've ever seen a pocket clip like this before, where it's almost completely flush and kind of rests on the relief cut. Because most pocket clips, they usually have it like up by the lock bar to kind of prevent it, make it sort of like an over travel stop. However, Shirogorov, instead of doing that with the pocket clip, where they have the pocket clip covering the lock bar, what they did was they included a lock bar insert, which is right here. And that's basically your over travel stop right there, instead of using the pocket clip for that. A lot of companies do that. They use the pocket clip as an over travel stop, but they didn't do that in this case. If you look inside the knife, there's sort of like a little skeletonized a little bit in there. You can see like where it is, and you know, like underneath the pocket clip, and that's obviously to reduce weight. If you look more inside, there's more skeletal cutouts in there. As far as resistance, like I said, you need to break it in. This is my very first Shirogorov knife. And I got another one, guys, which I'm going to do in another video. That one is a full-blown Shirogorov knife. I don't want to give it away, but I'm probably going to wind up doing that video tonight because the weather's lousy, man. It sucks. Yeah, see, it's actually gotten easier. I can actually open this one with my finger. It still kind of hurts, but it's easier now. The full-blown Shirogorov, man, I like basically ripped my finger doing that. I actually have to deploy it with my thumb for a while until I can get used to breaking it in. But this is really just a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. I just wanted to give you guys a good quick overview of it. I'm going to actually do a third video, which I think you guys will kind of find pretty interesting. I'm going to compare Shirogorov knives to one of my favorite knife companies, Chris Reeve Knives. They have a lot in common, but they're also kind of worlds apart. But in any case, let's get back to the knife. Let's do some size comparisons, because you guys don't even know what the hell this knife is, like what's the size of it. I'm kind of hoping that the angle isn't going to throw you. I'm going to try and do my best with the size comparisons. Also going to try and bring out some knives that you guys are familiar with. Let's start off with the ZT0562. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see how bad the angle is. You guys can't really, well, maybe this way you can tell. So as you can see, the Shirogorov is much larger. I forgot to tell you that the blade size on this knife, if anybody wants, if in the moment is still there, please feel free to continue to ask questions. It's going to make the video a lot easier for me. The blade size on this is 3.75 inches total. Which is kind of weird because when you're holding the knife in your hand, you swear to God, it's a 3.5, which is what the ZT-0562 is. It doesn't feel like as big of a knife as you think it is. And I've got knives that are right around the same exact size, but they feel big, but this one doesn't, and I still don't understand why that is. Even whether it's closed or open, I feel like I'm holding a 3.5 inch knife, and it's not. It's 3.75 inches. So let's go ahead and continue on with the size comparison. So there it is up against the ZT-0562. Maybe it might work with this angle, I don't know. Let's check it out up against the, this is discontinued Spyderco Swiss Bowie that I've had mine anodized. This is 3.4. Yeah, I think it works this way, right? Yeah, it does work. 3.4 inches. You can see it from this angle, flat ways. It's not that bad. Yeah. At least you can tell one knife is after short. And even though, this knife is further away from this one, it's pretty accurate. Here we go up against the, this one's the Kershaw bare knuckle. My finger is so sore that I can't even freaking, I can't even flick this Kershaw on. It's pretty easy. Now this knife is 3.5, right? So you want to put it up against a smaller knife? Then great, let's do that. Not small, but how about medium sized? The Spyderco Sage, which I think is like 3.1. So there it is up against the Sage. And finally, this is how I like to do my size comparisons. We like to find out where size-wise does this knife fall into the mix, small, medium, or large. So here we go up against the Spyderco Techno 2, the one with the green barrel spacer in there. So there you go. So this one falls in the large category. So you got small, medium, and large. So this is a very large knife. But like I said, that's one of the main features of this knife as far as I'm concerned, from just personally holding it and, kind of having my honeymoon period with it. The honeymoon period, how that goes. It feels like a 3.5 inch knife, and I really can't explain that. How about up against the Numzon? The last one. Yeah, see, the Numzon is 3.6, 3.75. So, yeah. Again, I can't stop talking about the action on this knife, because it is second to none, really. Look at the way. I've never held a knife like that. That's not a custom. You know what I mean? Because this is not a custom knife. This is a production piece, but I've never felt it like that. These guys are just crazy. Shirogorov knives are just absolutely insane with the action. They've got it tuned in. The other thing too that you should realize is that, and after owning my second Shirogorov knife, and by the way, guys, yes, I am ill. I'm gonna have some more. I mean, this knife is mind-blowing, if you've never owned one of these and you're looking to invest in a high-end piece, get a Shirogorov, man. I don't know anybody that's had any negative things to say about it. First of all, your honeymoon period is like a week on this thing. You're like, every day you're trying to discover something new on it, either action or whatever it is, but you just never get tired of going gaga over this one, and I think that's what Shirogorov is trying to go for. Basically the only two negatives I can think of, and one of the negatives is going to go away, and that's breaking the knife in, because the detent is fairly hard in the beginning, but now this one's kind of breaking in already, and I'm not sure. See, now it doesn't even hurt my finger anymore. I'm pretty cool with it. Look at that, man. Real. Okay, maybe see, it's still a little bit. If you're not concentrating, yeah, you're not gonna get it. But yeah, Jesus, that's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I do like the Recon one, you know, the design on that thing. So yeah. And one of the things too is that I need to better explain is that, you know, they did choose the best features to put on the knife. You get the multi-roll ball bearing system, but they take away the full backspacer. You know what I mean? They give you this little barrel thing on there instead. They take away a lot of the milling, which you'll see probably tonight, later on tonight. More of this detailed milling on there, because that costs a lot of money to do that. And I think they do that because they want you to notice little things like that on the knife, which you really can't appreciate until you get into customs. The pocket clip, unusual looking again, very sculpted. I've never seen a pocket clip like that before, where it's, you know, overly sculpted like that. So there's a lot of detail on this knife, I mean, that they've done. And that's kind of like crossing over into customs, because don't forget, custom knives are supposed to be seen as art. You know, you don't get just a tool, you're getting a knife that's actual art. And this is sort of like crossing the, what do you call it, that threshold where it's not over the top, but they give you a little bit of a taste of it so you can at least understand the intricacies that go into making a knife like this with machining. Because, and Shirogorov uses the latest tech to make this knife, so you can really appreciate it. The ergonomics were really well thought out. I forgot to mention that also. Your fingers fit really nice. You get the 2-finger choil there, and then the rest of your hand just kind of fits. What I like about it is that there's no hot spots, obviously, on this knife. That was very well thought out, but it's kind of amazing how your hand fits comfortably in there. And it doesn't, you know, you can see yourself using this hard use every day if you want to do that. No, I wouldn't do it. Most of my knives at this price point are for light use. Yeah. Chromax PM steel is what you get. So that was the other thing that they take away. Normally with Shirogorov knives, the premium is M390. Or, you know, even though LMAX isn't as good as M390, they're no, you know, they were known to put LMAX on their blades as well, on their knives as well. Chromax PM is a blade steel that is used exclusively by Shirogorov. There are some knife companies that do use Chromax PM, but Shirogorov is actually known for it. And it is a very good steel. In fact, it's, like I said, it's just a step below. It's a step below M390. In fact, I think I could show you. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this app before. 1 second here. See if I could show this to you. Yeah, they have this app. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try. Yeah, basically, it's called Knife Steel. I love this app. And basically, what you do is you just punch in the blade steel. In this case, I'm going to do M390. Well, they give you all the compositions, but this is what I like about it. You can see where it falls in the mix here. You just hit this. There you go. And they give you these bars here, right, that shows you all the different elements. You need to get this app if you've never had it before. You should really definitely consider it. It's awesome. So that's M390, and then you can add another steel to it, and that would be Chromax PM. There it is. So you can see, like, the difference. The Chromax PM is the gray, and the M390 is the blue. So look how closely they are, as far as the elements. You're going to have to check out the app because they explain what all these bottom elements are. Because each element that they take away affects the steel. And it's just a really awesome app. You can check it out on at the App Store, on the Apple App Store. It's like the best app I've ever seen. They give you all the elements. They explain all the elements, how they affect the steel, how they affect the cutting, what holds, which has the best edge retention, so on and so forth. Gotta get it. Definitely a great app to have. So back to the knife. There's just something to be said about that. It's just nuts. I just can't believe how beautiful this knife is. And you can imagine that Shirogorov picked like the best features to put on here just to give you a taste. Maybe they're looking to lull you into buying a real one. Not a real one, I don't mean to use that word, but a full-blown Shirogorov knife. Because this is like an Shirogorov knife, but they've trimmed it down to give you a taste of everything that's great about their company, and they put it into this one knife. Them and Recon put this together. They chose the best features to put on the knife at a certain price point. So you can get it under $1,000, but they wanted to make sure you got the best of what they have to offer. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is these here. It's just, I don't know. They could have done something better with that. But just looking at the knife overall, all these swedges and everything, you don't get that with a regular production knife. There's none of that on a regular production knife, and you have to kind of really appreciate it. I mean, it just is. I mean, for example, my ZT 0562, right? I'm going to show you something on this. Now, if you take a look at this, the action is amazing on it. On this knife, you have to keep in mind, I went to Knife Modders and had this thing anodized, this color, right? But here's one thing that my friend did, Richie, at knifemodders.com. He actually, on Instagram, at knifemodders on Instagram, I got the knife back, and I don't know if you guys own a ZT 0562, but it is not this smooth, okay? See how smooth that is? You know what I mean? I got it back, and it was like this, and I was like, what the hell did you do? Did you add something to it? Is it ceramic ball bearings now? He goes, nope, I just cleaned it. You know what I mean? So these things, they come straight out of the factory. They give you the smoothness, but they don't, it's not, there's no attention paid to that. You know what I mean? This knife, had to have some work done to it just to give it that action. And, Richie at Knife Modders on Instagram, he's the one that did that. But, I just wanted to show you that, you could do that to some knife, but Shirogorov, basically, you would need an expert to get the knife to do that, to give it that action. So don't think that, you could just go ahead and, buy a ZT, clean it, and you'll get the same. I guess in theory you could, but still, I mean, this does have the ball bearing system put in there, the multi-roll ball bearing system put in there, and that is something to consider. It's an experience. It really is. And this knife is really an experience. It's an amazing, amazing knife. Yeah. So that is it. I've let this video run on long, and I'm going to be doing another video on my other Shirogorov knife. I've got some other stuff coming. I got some wallets coming later on today. I got a flashlight. I went nuts with my money, guys. I'm broke. So I just wanted to share all the stuff that I've got. and just share my experience, because, you know, some days it's really bad. I need a knife, and wow. And now it's really getting easy to flip. Look at that. I couldn't even open it with my finger before, but now it's really getting easier. So, yeah. And before I close my channel again, you guys really should be aware of a new site called knifeenthusiast.com. Check them out. They want to be the complete total source for knives. You can buy knives there. You can sell knives there. You can ask any knife information that you want. You can find just about anything on custom knives, production knives, the latest news on production knives. It's all there on knifeenthusiast.com. It's a great channel. You can find my channel on that website, knifeenthusiast.com. They're new. And they're looking to be the center of all things custom and production. So this is Omar, your South African knife guy. I'm closing this video out because the weather is getting really bad now. It's getting kind of cold out here. I will see you guys in my next video. If I can do it outside, maybe if the weather gets better, I'll do the video outside again. Otherwise, I'll be doing it indoors. And yeah, that's it. So once again, the RP1 Quantum URSUS by Shirogorov. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And you guys have a great, fantastic Saturday. Probably a lot better than mine. This weather just sucks. Have a good day, guys.